Hey there, welcome to episode number 92 of the Productive Wellbeing Show. And this is day 4 of the Christmas Day, 12 Days of Christmas takeover. And today I am joined by the amazing Tom Balmont. Tom is going to talk to us.
Sorry, ignore me. No, I mean, don't, but keep on. Yeah. So, Abigail, over to you.
Tom is a performer, and so Tom is going to talk to us today about how he has pivoted from performing on the streets of Covent Garden to daily audiences of thousands to helping the customers of his corporate clients connect with their brands using humour and his puppet team. So I'm just going to leave it there because this conversation is going to be so much fun. The other thing I want to say is, as you're joining us, let us know where you're joining us from in the comments, say hi. And I look forward to sort of seeing where this conversation is going to go, because I have spoken on episodes previously about humour and my sense of humour, and people have asked me, and I've really struggled over the years to work out and articulate what my sense of humour is. And when I saw Tom's video, I was just like, wow, I have to have this guy on the show because he's just so fun. I'm
like a tennis ball. Sorry, enjoying the format. Lovely. Yeah, it's wonderful to be here. Thank you.
Without further ado, Tom, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm already feeling more productive just being here. So that's lovely. That's wonderful.
Amazing. So,
great.
Okay. I'm not here to talk, you are here to talk. So let me open up with the sort of $1 million question. Tom, what has changed for you in 2020? Maybe take us back to 2019. Where were you at? What was going on? What's changed for you?
Okay. Can I just start by asking, when do I get this $1 million? Is that... Do I just invoice you at the end? No,
yeah.
Not there. No. That kind of great. No, okay, that's fine. Well, on to your question. So, 2019 was like nearly 2 years ago now. I would routinely head up to London I live in Sussex. I'd get on the train. Well, I'd get to the train station. I'd get on the train, head up to London, to Covent Garden. We'd arrive early in the morning and we'd do a draw with all the street performers, and then I would spend my days entertaining the tourists. And at the end of I would ride a 7-foot unicycle. I'd be charming and funny on top of a 7-foot unicycle. And all these wonderful people would come and watch the shows, and they would laugh because they thought I was funny, and they'd be amazed because I was riding a unicycle, and I would be squeezing my body through which is significant and muscular, my body, through a tennis racket. And it was an amazing thing, and I'd do it on the unicycle. And that would be great, and that was brilliant, and that was my life. And I would travel the world, working at different festivals, street festivals around the world, working out in the Middle East a lot, in Dubai and Kuwait and Saudi Arabia and all these sorts of exciting places. And it was just fantastic. And then in 2020, we had the Rona hit, and that was just it. Everything stopped, and so I lost my job. Which was bizarre. And also we went into lockdown on the 23rd of March, which was actually my birthday, which still is my birthday. And my birthday happens every year, not the lockdown.
Oh yeah, birthday, funny thing. Yeah. Inshallah, it happens next year.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to send me a card or anything, that would be lovely. But so I kind of, on my birthday, I was suddenly unemployed, and the whole thing that I'd had in my head the whole time I was street performing was, no matter what happens, no matter how bad life gets, I can go out on the street. I now have the skills and the abilities to make some money, to look after myself. And then all of a sudden, that wasn't true. Like this thing that I'd had in my head for 15 years, that no matter what, I'd be okay, I could also make some money, just wasn't true. So I kind of had a little meltdown for a while, which was really bad. And I had to do something else. I had to find something else, and didn't know what that would be. And I tried a couple of different things. I thought maybe I'd be an award-winning author, but I didn't. Got half a chapter of a book, and no one gave me any awards, so I didn't bother to carry on with that. And I thought maybe, I considered being a doctor, but you have to have lots of training for that. And I thought other things too that didn't get any further than the book or the doctor thing. And then a friend of mine sent me a video he'd done with a chicken puppet, and I just was like, oh my God, this is it. This could be a wonderful marketing thing, and it could be a real business, and it'd be amazing. I'd always enjoyed making things with my hands, and I'd done a little bit of puppetry in the past. And it was just, it was like a light bulb moment, and I knew I had to pivot and change everything. So that's what I did. And yeah, that's that. And it's been wonderful. And I know lots of people who have done it, and obviously Corona's killed 1 in 1,000 people, which is shocking, absolutely incredible. But for me, it's been a positive thing. Not that people have died, but because it's given me the chance to do something new and move in new and unexpected ways. And I've really learned to embrace the pivoting.
So once you'd moved through it, I think this is the thing, is that we can always, with the benefit of hindsight, look back and be like, oh yeah, but at the point where you were having the meltdown, and most people were having the meltdown as we were getting phone call after phone call, email after email, cancelled, and then don't leave your house. Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
What are we going to do now? My thing was to start a show. As I said, we're on episode 92 of that show. So that was started at the beginning of the year. But there are sort of roller coasters in all of it, for sure. Just this street performing thing, literally up until yesterday, I had no idea that you couldn't just rock up on the street with your stuff and start performing. There's a lot that goes into being a Covent Garden street performer.
Oh, absolutely. You have to pass an audition process. It's quite a rigorous audition process. You have to be fully insured and licensed, and we had to do risk assessments, which was bit mad, and then a big part of it as well is like it's a mental and psychological thing. Like, are you tough enough and willing to kind of put yourself through this experience every day, where you go out in front of maybe thousands of people, and you try and make them laugh, and you try and make them smile, and if they don't laugh and if they don't smile, that's absolutely crushing. That's really difficult to deal with. It's rejection on a mass scale, and
it's very clear, it's very visible, isn't it, as well? Because you will have a big circle of people around you or not around you, depending on, are they resonating or not resonating with your heart and soul, because you're performing for them.
Absolutely. And it sounds bizarre, but the best worst outcome you can have is to not have anyone watching you, because it means there's no one to see you fail. Whereas what's really bad is when you have a big crowd and for whatever reason they turn on you, and they'll stand and they'll watch you, but they look at you like this.
Not a great face. I had somebody in an audience once that looked at me like that, and when I spoke to them after and I said, I didn't think you liked anything I was talking about, they said, no, that's just my face.
Some people are like that, and that's really unfortunate, isn't it? They just, the wind, obviously they were putting a face, the wind changed, and that's just what they have to live with now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can be brutal with that kind of rejection, and it's so much of it. I've experienced so much of it throughout the time I was a performer, and so actually, like, going into business, it's all right. Like, what's the worst that happens? People don't want to buy from you.
Yeah, but in many ways, I see that you already were in business. You were in a type of business, and almost it takes many years, and as you've just said, lots of hurdles to be able to get to perform in that place. So then when it's like, okay, what am I going to do now? I mean, you have almost had to start over, only you're not starting over because of everything you know. It's how can I use what I know and then move it into a different arena?
Yeah, not now. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's spot on. You just got to take it back, and I think really I'd say I do a lot of stuff with the puppets, but it's more than that. It's just about the humor and the and just bringing out humor that's already there, and kind of getting people to look at stuff in a slightly different way. So for example, there's a wonderful little business that I've just started to work with called the Scrawny Goat. And so for them, they're all about helping high street businesses kind of survive being on the high street, which is a brilliant thing, and local, supporting those local businesses. And so for them, we're building this a goat puppet, and kind of at the end of this little video we're putting together, he ends up selling enough beans to go on holiday. And so he has like a little hat and little sunglasses, and he goes on holiday, and it's great. And so it's just finding that humor and that spark in brands, and bringing that out that people love to do. Yeah,
it's almost sort of come together that 2020 has been this year where we've not been able to have the usual entertainment we would have. So we've kind of then been blown away when things come along that entertain us and are fun and interesting, and then you start to look at the brands and you are literally there going, yeah, they're really boring, or they're really fun because they're bringing humor into it. It's not really been a year of much laughter. So when did you decide that humor was going to be the path? Have you always performed as a kid? Did you wake up one day?
Well, it's been a long. I think just as a kid, I just always enjoyed kind of being the class clown, but in a kind of subtle, or not backwards or respectful exactly, but kind of just a little. Serco, stop. Serco, just stop it. I think I've always just enjoyed making people laugh, and making someone laugh is a wonderful thing, and you get wonderful flood of release of endorphins, and then I also get like a little surge of adrenaline from it. It's like, yeah, okay, let's do that some more. Let's make this a wonderful thing. And when you combine it with a vivid imagination, all of a sudden you're kind of dragging people into your world and saying, like, let's make this incredible thing happen together, where we laugh and we smile and we joke, and we can make up our own rules as to why it's funny. You know, it's one of my favorite jokes is writing jokes is really difficult. See, that didn't get a laugh, did it? And
no, because because in my head, you literally said one of my favorite jokes, I start thinking about my favorite joke, and this then brings me on to humor. It's just so personal. Like, I love situational humor, and some people don't. Some people love other types of humor. So how did you kind of find what was your humor, and do you do different styles? Have you got different ways?
I would say no, I don't. I only do this one sort of awkward, deprecating, dry humor. But I have so Covent Garden was one thing, and the show was still that. But also I had over the last 5 years, I've had 3 lots of open heart surgery, and I have a mechanical heart valve. And so apologies if the microphone ever comes close to my chest, because you'll hear the ticking. But from those heart surgeries, I had the heart surgery. I had some therapy because it kind of, and afterwards I was like, oh, I'm fine now. I've had the therapy, I'm fine. And then I had a little breakdown, and it's kind of a theme. And I was like, yeah, how can I get over this? How can I resolve these issues that I have around the heart surgery? And so I thought, oh, you know what, I'll get on stage and I'll do a show about it. So I did a spoken word comedy show at a couple of fringe festivals around the world. And I mean, that was called Chest Pains, which was wonderfully successful, I thought. Numbers of bums on seats would disagree. But again, it's very subjective, isn't it, as to what success is? But that was brilliant, but again, very dry. And I got to explore that on stage in front of people, and I think there's something very cathartic about that. And this kind of, again, this element of world building, and this element of like, it's okay to laugh at stuff, even if it's about me dying, because it's really funny, and it's a thing that we're doing together. And I think a lot of humor relies on this buy-in from both parties, so from the comedian and the audience kind of coming together and saying, yes, we're gonna find this funny, we're gonna make this buy-in, and we're gonna accept that these are the rules of the world that we're creating, and so that's why we can find it funny.
Yeah, it's a very interesting process as well, because it's a creative process, but then we're trying to articulate humor, and it's like, humor's just humor. You can't really articulate it. Somebody does something that's funny and you find it funny. So just to take you back a little bit, when I was thinking of who I was going to bring to you on the show, my friend who is Tom's agent, who books him for speaking gigs, she's called Kay Freeman, and it's the agency is called Andromeda Talent.
She's wonderful.
She is wonderful. She sent me a few options, so I looked at them all, and obviously knowing my humor, it was, what is the humor that I find funny? So Tom's speaker video, speaker reel, it's got real situational humor in it, and we're going to share a link to it afterwards, because I want you guys to take a look and see what you find funny about that. But oh, Kay is there. Hello, Kay. We were just speaking about you.
Hi, Kay.
Maybe Kay says she's wonderful. Maybe Kay could share the link to Tom's video on YouTube so that people could see it. How many puppets have you got?
I have currently, I think I personally, I've only got 4. There's only 4 that I use at the moment, because I am married and have a wife who is lovely and wonderful, but has very firmly explained what will happen if there are any more puppets in the house that aren't for other people.
So you literally will work with the client and create the puppets for them, and once you've created it, then it belongs to the client. It's their puppet, it's their theme. In my head, I'm thinking about ones that I've seen out there, I guess, like the meerkats, but are they more cartoony creatures now rather than puppets? But we found they're talking about insurance. They're talking about comparison websites, and it has brought an element of humor and entertainment to what they do, hasn't it?
It absolutely has. And I think when you look back on advertising in general for the last, as long as we've had advertising on TV, like instantly one that springs to mind is the creature comfort adverts. I mean, and that's it's not puppets, it's claymation, it's animation, it's that whole idea of if we can have something to represent our brand that isn't entirely serious, but is very effective, because when you say the creature comfort adverts, everyone's like, oh yeah, the creature comfort.
I loved them, absolutely loved them, and still will make up voices to any animals I see based on learning that strategy from watching their adverts.
And I mean, this is wrong side. There we go. This that way. This is the goat for the scrawny goat people. Woo. Here, and he's I think he's quite cute, and he's very cute. Yeah. And his little horns. Look at that. And he's like a chin. Gruff, little gruff there. I think it's buying, and you make these cute characters, and people they want to be involved, and they want to remember it. And as well as the meerkats, we also had the nodding Churchills.
Oh yeah.
And people really get it. I mean, I used to actually a long time ago, I used to work at a call center where we sold the nodding Churchills.
Oh, and people wanted them, I bet.
Yeah, like every day you'd have like 5 or 6 calls from, it was mostly older ladies, and they'd ring up and they'd be like, oh, hello, I'd like to buy a nodding dog, please. You go, oh, okay, yeah, sure thing, and you put them through and you take your credit card details, and and then presumably, we didn't actually send them out, but presumably they got sent the nodding dogs.
That's what people identify with your brands. So what would you say have been the highlights for you then of 2020? Because obviously it's been a roller coaster year, but looking back now, Pretty much 9 months. We can look back.
Yeah, I mean,
started the year in Covent Garden, ended the year working from home.
We haven't ended it, but I don't know if you tell, but I've actually green screened in a lovely beach, so I'm actually on the beach in the Maldives.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Yeah. No, highlights of 2020. I mean, yes. Oh, sorry. I mean, highlights of 2020. Yesterday was pretty good. I had 4 sausage rolls. And 2 for breakfast and 2 for lunch. No, highlights.
What is December?
It is December, yeah. And we got a lovely farm shop, and so they were like chorizo handmade. Brilliant.
Have you had a Christmas coffee yet?
No.
You do the Christmas coffee. What is your favourite Christmas coffee?
I really like this. People are going to hate me for this. I really like the Starbucks ones.
Yeah,
Starbucks,
me too.
I think, do a good Christmas coffee. Yeah, we don't have one locally, so we're in here.
You have to go to Starbucks for the Christmas coffee. It's a thing.
The red cups. The red cups. You've got to, haven't you? And they just do a good roast, I think. Now we're talking about coffee. Normally I'm a Nero's guy, but
the gingerbread one, the gingerbread Christmas latte, no.
A bit sweet for me. The syrups, if it's got a syrup in it, it's kind of a bit sweet. And I think when I want a coffee, I want something to wake me up. That's going to kind of, have that bitterness, that bite to it, to get me through the next whatever it is I'm drinking the coffee for. Whereas with the syrups, I'm kind of like, oh, it's a bit like a dessert. Maybe have a little sleep.
And what are you seeing kind of is your plan for 2021? Would you like to take the puppets on tour? Will we be seeing puppet Zooms?
If you want to arrange a meeting with me and have a meeting with a puppet, let me know, because I do that. No, 2021.
The puppet face is there speaking instead of you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If you're on LinkedIn and obviously you're on LinkedIn because it's LinkedIn Live, but if you look under my profile, and every Friday I put out a puppet video, and it's often with Serco, who's the orange one, who's this is Serco. And Serco, I mean, he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. No, put the knife down. Put the knife down, Serco. Okay, knife down. Okay. Yeah, he's pretty cool, but quite angry. And he might threaten you with a knife. But apart from that, the others are all nice. So 2021, I think we're going to try and kind of grow the brand. So the brand of my company launched today.
Drum roll, please.
Is On the Other Hand. That's the name of the company. On the Other Hand.
Love it.
Yeah, which is great for the puppets, but also on the other hand, you see what I did there? It's like the comedy humor thing, so it ties them together very nicely.
Yeah, perfect.
So very pleased with that. Even though it wasn't my idea, but
teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly, and again, that was I'm constantly asked in LinkedIn about things, and constantly I'm surprised at the generosity of people on this platform just to share and kind of be like, oh hey, yeah, these are the answers, or these are the people you need to talk to, or why are you doing this, and just these other questions I have. It's a lovely, engaging, wonderful, warm platform. So if you're on here and you're just watching, take part, engage, be part of the conversation. I feel like that's someone else's slogan. It might be something.
Which then leads me on to please leave a question in the comments if you've got a question, because this is the first time I've had a performer. I kind of want to call you a comedian because that's just in my head. What I see somebody who makes me laugh is a comedian, but it's the first time I've had somebody like this on the show. So I'm just
leave a question below, or send us a letter to PO Box.
Which reminds me of the PO Box. So before we came on air, you were telling me that you have a Blue Peter badge.
I do. I was up at Edinburgh Fringe Festival many years ago. Not that many, I'm not that old, but like I was still an adult, but I was performing there. And I was doing the street show, and one of the producers came up after the show and said, "Oh, we think you'd be really great for our Edinburgh Festival special. Will you come on the show?" I said, "Oh, absolutely." And I had to go up extra early to do it because they couldn't film during the day, the like regular day hours, because the high street was so busy. So we were kind of up at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and Edinburgh was just dead. And I had Helen Skeleton and some guy, I can't remember his name, but they kind of held the unicycle as I got up, and we did 3 takes, and I managed to muck up each one of the 3 takes. I completely forgot that it was Blue Peter that we're filming for. So in the first one, I think I said something horrific. I used language not appropriate to Blue Peter. Not appropriate
for that time of day.
In the next one, there was a very, very clear shot of me looking straight down Helen Skelton's top. Yeah, or like as I was climbing up on the unicycle, there is a lot of kind of looking down to see where your feet are and whatever, and it just so happened that it wasn't a pervy thing, but it looked it.
We're not here to judge you, Tom. We're not here to judge.
Okay, well that's good. And in the third one, which is the one they had to use because we ran out of time, you see me adjusting my crotch quite a lot. But they had to use that one because, we ran out of time. And it's actually on YouTube, kicking about somewhere.
Amazing. Well, yeah. So we've got a question from somebody called Chris Balmont.
That's my dad. Hi, Dad.
Does Tom owe any of his success to his parents? Is the question. Tom, do you owe any of your success to your parents?
I owe it all to my parents and my lovely wife. My parents were incredibly supportive of this growing up, and I think that's really, really important. And you do need a network around you to grow and to thrive like I have. So yeah.
And we've got a comment from your agent, amending bio to include Blue Peter badge. Tom and I discussed earlier, Kay, where was the said Blue Peter badge? And now this is a message to Chris. Tom needs you to find the Blue Peter badge at home because he wants to wear it with pride next year. Andy Parks says, right answer, Tom.
Thanks, good. Andy. Thank you.
Amazing. So these guys are going to want to know where they can watch more of your comedy, meet the puppet family. Where is the best place? And obviously, you've pivoted in 2020. So 2021, you're going to be growing. Where can we find you, follow you? On the YouTubes? On the
YouTubes, you absolutely can. At Tom Balmont, I think, is my YouTube handle. If you're on LinkedIn, just send me a connection request, Tom Balmont. And if you are interested in having this at an event, contact Kay at Andromeda Talent. If you want to talk about puppets or have a Zoom, contact me through LinkedIn. Or check out my new, very barren company page on the other hand.
Awesome. Yeah, for the new business you just started today. And thank you so much for sharing this with us, because let's keep it real, guys. 2020 has been a freaking, I want to use shizzle storm. Let's say that.
Oh,
so
yeah. I wasn't sure. Are we allowed to swear on this or not? I feel like
we can, but we're trying to keep it real for the kids, just in case anybody wants to share.
I mean, my parents are watching too.
Yeah, exactly. Don't we're live on TV. Don't swear. And thank you
I'll probably
for
have to explain shizzle to them later, though.
Shizzle, yeah. Thank you for sharing the journey and everything, because a lot of people have had to totally reinvent what it is that they do, and it takes time to create new websites, build new profiles and followings and everything. I imagine when you're on the street in Covent Garden, you're not there saying to people, oh yeah, please, oh, did you like this? Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. They're like moving on.
Yeah, you can't, and it's each time you're working from scratch, and that's why it's been a real shock actually. So street performing is this kind of real instant thing. If you do the show and then you get paid by a hat of cash
on the day.
Yeah, that if there are any tax people watching, that I declare fully, because I'm a law-abiding citizen.
31st of March, HMRC. Yeah.
Yeah. Get an accountant. It makes it all so much simpler. And whereas with business, you do like marketing, and nothing happens, and then the next day, you do some more marketing, and still nothing happens. But then eventually, people do get in touch with you, and it does work. But it's just so much slower, and everything takes so much longer. And that's been a real shock, more so than anything else. It's just the length of time involved. I'm no longer just working for 40 minutes and being paid.
And I think it's so interesting. Yesterday, we had an entrepreneur on the show for day 3 who was talking about how he started his business 10 years ago and what he didn't know about doing it and the journey of doing it. And so I love that we are here talking about comedy, but we're also talking about the business journey. And that is that you don't know what you don't know. And there's invoicing, there's pitching, and then there's rocking up and actually delivering it. And then there's following up on it. And then there's, so many things, including buying the biscuits, making sure you've got enough loo roll,
buying the sausage rolls,
replying to emails. You're in charge of everything. So it's quite a big switch. And I think that, thank you so much for sharing this, because we can have people on the show who are sort of further along the journey, but it's important for everybody to recognize, if it's possible for Tom to do this, it's possible for you. Whatever has happened for you this year, and it's not been perfect for anybody. I mean, I've had to entirely pivot my business as well. But we kind of come to the end of the year and we're still here.
That's it. We're still here, still representing. I think you got to take the journey, and you got to exactly. A single journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Totally. I said that originally. That's my quote. And
question:
does Tom's wife find him funny? I suspect that my wife has set up that as a different account to troll me on this. Sometimes, and sometimes I just annoy her.
Did you use humour to start your relationship?
Did I use humour to start the relationship? I don't know. Jen?
Did you tell her a joke?
Did I?
What?
Did I find out?
She finds me very funny.
Yes, she finds me very funny. Did I use humour to start the relationship?
Did you start the relationship or did I?
Brilliant. I love it.
There we go.
I love it. Well, guys, our entire aim of today was to bring some joy and humour. Now, this man makes me laugh. I hope he makes you laugh too. From your comments, I think he is. So as we have said, Kay is your person for booking Tom for speaking gigs, and then Tom's new business, but just connect with him on LinkedIn. That's the easiest place. Just connect Tom Balmont and you'll see what he's up to, and you'll be able to stalk him in 2021 in the nicest possible way.
Yes, please do. It's all about vanity metrics for me.
Amazing. So right. I just want to tell some of you who are asking about something exciting that's going on in my world, in my business world. It's called the 24 Goal Year, and it is going to start on the 30th of December. So next week, I'm going to give you a link to the website where you can sign up for the wait list to join us on this program. But just for now, I just wanted to bring to your attention the 24 Goal Year is coming, and we can't wait to have many of you joining us for that program. What else was I going to say? Oh yes, Follow my social media if you want to win those sweets from yesterday's show. And on Monday, we are going to be joined by a graffiti artist for a conversation about graffiti art and what got him into that and how he's pivoted his business and his life in 2020, because obviously going out on the streets and as a professional graffiti artist, he is allowed and invited by organizations to graffiti walls for them as part of a business. But obviously during lockdown, this wasn't possible. So he's going to be talking about graffiti and pivoting. So that's going to be really exciting. So thank you.
Redecorated his house a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah, all of the walls. Thank you so much for joining us live and for all your awesome and funny comments. Thank you, Tom, for yours and for bringing some of your puppet family to our screens. I thought you were going to say something.
Oh no! I was trying to be an engaged listener.
Oh, okay.
I was hanging off your every word, and then your word stopped.
And then my word stopped. Fantastic. Well, I'm just going to carry on. So, guys, until next time, stay safe, stay well. Oh, hang on. And your dad just said, I can't find the Blue Peter patch. I can't remember when I wore it last. So on that note, guys, this has been fantastic. Stay safe, stay well, keep washing your hands, and we'll see you on Monday.
Bye.